All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Uh, that was Claire Lynch. That song is called That Kind of Love. And wow, what a beautiful song. And wow, what a beautiful morning. Good morning, Zelma. You look gorgeous.
Thank
Happy
you.
Monday. Happy Memorial Day. I don't know if you can say Happy Memorial Day. I don't know if happy is the thing to say about it, but grateful gratitude for you here on Marvelous Monday. So Zelma Gonzalez's mic is all yours.
A majestic, memorial, magnificent, monumental, and whatever wonderful M words are still out there. Morning to, no, wait, Monday to each and every only one of us. A grand rising to you all. That's the new one. They're giving up this word more. Good morning because it's a morning, and now it's grand rising. So it's a grand rising to you all. Uh, Thank you, Lynn. Good morning. I love you. Good morning, Regis. I love you. Love you. Grand rising to you too. And I'm still saying good morning, right? Of course I have it. Uh, well, Puppy decided he decided at 9:54 that he wanted to go out. I'm on Eastern time. 9:54 is 6 minutes to 10. 6 minutes to my start time. And then he goes out and he just wanted to frolic, run up and down the street, run up and down the street. I'm hoping he can help me find one of my pair of glasses that I seem to have misplaced. They'll turn up. Hey, Lindy, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I saw you. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Well, all right. I don't know who's in the Pal Talk room because I don't have Pal Talk running. Um, I see my brother came and he's coming on for the second time. Just so you know, I ordered my monitor and I'm expecting it today. I may call you, little brother, with questions, lots of questions. uh, and maybe I won't have any, we'll see, we'll see. Uh, I'm not afraid of technology. Um, I'm not afraid of technology at all. All right, and good morning to Carrie and Dove and Delia, who are in the Pal Talk room. Thank you, Lynn, for letting me know that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's difficult for me to, uh, as I'm putting slides together or whatever it is that I'm doing over here, and going into that moment of relaxation before starting here to go into Pal Talk and start listening. I can't do it. I was able to come in Zoom and hear the fact that Lynn was playing music was fine. Otherwise, I would have had to mute her. But I'm not doing that. I'm not muting anyone today except myself in about an hour. Um, all right. So let us begin as we always do with a reminder that this is A Course in Miracles Meet Science of Mind, even though I don't have a single Ernest Holmes quote today. So I think I'm going to have to call it New Thought. I don't know. I don't know yet. Anyway, Course in Miracles Meet Science of Mind. Um, yeah, we're going to keep it like that. A reminder, as always, to mind your mind. Dr. Ernest Holmes teaches us that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And the course reminds us, oh, you know what? This is supposed to be in slideshow mode. And in slideshow mode, it's more fun. So let's do it in slideshow mode from current slides, starting here. There we go. To learn how to think is to learn how to live. That this is a course in mind training. All learning involves attention and study at some level. Attention and study, and and study and attention. Pay attention to what you're studying. Study what you're paying attention to, and know that it matters because the course teaches that we become what the environment that we choose to be in. Whatever environment, so whatever environment in our minds we choose to be in, we become that, as demonstrated by whatever our lives look like. We don't want to admit it, but that's the truth. It's by what our lives look like. And the course reminds us too that an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. So we can sit here and read books and memorize passages and and go to services and come here and pal talk and all that. But the course reminds us too that the sleep of forgetfulness is the unwillingness to remember. So it doesn't matter how much of all that you do if you're not paying attention, and if you're not actually working on training your mind, because that's how it's done with attention and study. We train the mind. Dr. Ernest Holmes reminds us that thoughts and things are but two ends of the same proposition. Thoughts and things are but two ends of the same proposition. It is impossible to stop thinking. We cannot stop creating or making, as the course would say, making. Our choices are whether we shall create constructively, that is, whether we'll make up stuff and hurt ourselves with it, or create constructively. I think I have to put that in the parentheses to make that clearer. And of course, in conjunction with that, the course tells us that all thinking produces form at some level. And the Egyptian proverb, I'm fascinated by this proverb because it's quoted. The first part of it is quoted the exact same way in the Bible, which of course doesn't surprise me. There are quite a few things in the Bible. For example, the 104th Psalm, excuse me, was the hymn to Akhenaten, uh, and other things, so many other things. But that's just one. The story of Moses coming down the water. That's not an original story. The virgin birth is not an original story. In fact, the last virgin birth was the birth of Jesus, not the first one. The last one. The first one documented was Egyptian, from the Kemetic tradition, and likewise, same thing with the crucified. There's a book titled 16 Crucified Saviors. I've not read the book, but again, and I'm going to go with what's written in the course, that the crucifixion was the last useless journey, not the first one, but it was the last one, according to A Course in Miracles. So the kingdom of heaven is within you. Whoever shall find himself shall find it. You find yourself, you find the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is you. It says here within you, the course teaches the kingdom of heaven is you. We can't separate what's out there from what's in here, because what's in here is what's out there. It's all one. All right. Today, um, my short-term theme for today is got tribulations? Be of good cheer. The course teaches do not despair because of limitations. It is your function to escape from them, but not to be without them. If you would be heard by those who suffer, you must speak their language. I'm gonna go back to this first piece. I appreciate how Baby Brother talks about, letting ourselves feel what we feel and stop thinking that this is God, but that's not. That this is God, but that's not. If we're feeling angry, scared, lonely, depressed, any of that, worried, we think that that's not God. Well, if my thoughts, if I am in the mind of God, what I am is in the mind of God, and everything that I've been given, every single thing that is a lesson that life would have me learn, that God would have me learn, then evidently, I don't even know if I want to finish that sentence this way. Then evidently I'm supposed to have these experiences. At least that's what even the course teaches, exactly that. We're not going to be without limitations. That's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. Do not despair then because of limitations. It is your function to escape from them, but not to be without them. In this life, we will be problems. We're going to have problems. If you would be heard, if we are to be heard by those who suffer, you must speak their language. How can I give you anything if I don't have it to give? And if I give, it has to be from the overflow. So there has to be that place in me that already is aware of these things before I can present them to you. All right, Michaela in the house. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Welcome. If we are to be heard by those who suffer, if we are to be heard by those in pain, how can I help anyone, be of assistance? Because it's not my job to do that. How can I be of assistance to anyone if I don't know what you're talking about? I remember before, when I was a nicotine user, and my mother used to, tell me about why I should stop smoking. And my ex-husband used to tell me about why I should stop smoking, but they never smoked. I needed to hear that and how it could help me, how it could be helped from people who had the experience, because that's all I kept thinking. You've never done that. Yeah, it's all God. It's all God. Like, this is not God, Lindy writes. Yeah, this is God. It's what isn't God? So we have to be careful when at least I have to be careful when I say that this isn't God and that's not God. Well, then we're talking about God, and we're back to that. We're back to that. It's not that it's not all God. It's the way it's my perception of it and what I have made as a result of my perception. That's not in line with the flow. But anyway, if I would be heard by those who suffer, I must speak their language. I am a licensed spiritual practitioner. Uh, I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner, and it's it's it interests me, it fascinates me that the people that end up coming to me, be it just for prayer or for sessions, however the case may be, absolutely identify with, oh God. There's this one client. She says, "You don't understand," and then she goes to tell me about what the experience is in her life, and I'm saying I don't understand. During the session itself, I can't get personal and tell her my stuff, but um, we do talk. And she needed to know. Oh, dear little one, you're not the only one. You're not the only one at all. If you would be heard by those who suffer, you must speak their language. Okay, this isn't moving. Why is this not moving? It's supposed to move. It's not moving. It's all right. I got a freeze going here. All right. So if you would be a savior, you must understand what needs to be escaped, because salvation is not theoretical. How can I help you? How can I, if if I can't swim and you go in deep water, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. Oh, I can talk about, oh, move your arms, float, kick your feet. I can talk all that talk as you're going down and under. I can't save you. I need to understand what needs to be escaped. I have to know how to swim in order to come rescue you out of the water. And that used to always be I used to always say about when I first learned about salvation. And I was reading the Bible for myself. I didn't have a teacher. I wasn't going to, I went to Catholic school. So once I came away from that, well, anyway, I didn't have any real Bible studies because of that. But when I, started reading the Bible and about this being saved, I'm like, I had the question: saved from what? Saved from what? And how could someone die for me? I didn't. None of that made sense to me. I mean, even if you and I are walking down the street and somebody shoots a gun, and I jump in the way and I take the bullet and my physical body ceases as a result of that. I didn't take the bullet for you. I took the bullet, and the sentence ends right there. I took the bullet, and it was meant for me if I took it. It's as simple as that. Anyway, so that was always a thing for me. The question that I always had that I couldn't stop. Look at that question. The course continues, behold the problem, ask for the answer, and then accept it when it comes. All the help you can accept will be provided. And that's key. All the help you can accept. I, I'm going to speak first person today because it may apply to you. If it does, that's fine. And if not, I'll just speak for myself. I find myself at times thinking about what I want to do and, wishing that something were a certain way and uh, hoping that it turns out a certain way. And all that wishing and hoping stuff is which is not real. That's all fantasy. Is really me not being willing to have that thing, whatever it is, be not being willing. Um, so I had breakfast this morning. I've not yet finished, the sink, the dishes in the sink. I can sit here all day long and wish and hope that the dishes get washed all by themselves. Certainly, puppy's not going to do them. No, he's laying down quite comfortably right here. Um, I can wish and hope all day long, but unless I am willing, really willing to have them done, they're not going to get done. And in that, I have to apply myself. I have to. The course said, attention and study, attention and study. I have to get involved in this thing, embody it, picture the sink clean, shiny, and then go make that happen. All the help I can accept will be provided that I can accept, and not one need I have will not be met. That means dishes will get done. Yeah, Mickey, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, great class. Thank you, Zulma. And I just want to say that when I was a little quick story, when I was first starting to study Ernest Holmes and science of mind and positive thinking and all the different teachers, uh, they had me put together a vision board, and I didn't do a vision board. I did an album, right? And a lot of it came true within this dream. My perception of dreaming, being the dreamer of the dream. Well, I just had it come true again on Saturday. I got a thing in the mail on two people on a paddle board, and it had a cruise ship, and they were on a lake. Well, my neighbor called me up and asked me so I put the picture out. I just cut it out and left it on my counter. And my neighbor called me within 2 weeks asking if I wanted to buy her paddle boards, and she'd give me 2 for 1. I just thought, this stuff works. It really does. It's all perception. It's a dream. And you put the positive out there. Thoughts are things. Everything is thought. And I got my paddle boards now for my to paddle around the lake on. I'll try that. I've never done it before, so I got to look it up on YouTube. Okay, thank you.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Yeah, thoughts are things. All thoughts produce form in some level. At some level, all thought. And see, we don't when we think about, oh, you're a pain in my neck, and then my neck hurts. Oh, nobody ever backs me up, and then my back hurts. These things we make these things. Oh, you get on my nerves. The next thing I know, I have a nervous condition of some sort. We do this to us, and we don't realize. And then we want to blame somebody. I want to blame you because you are getting on my nerves. But you can't literally get on my nerves unless you go into a physical place. Unfortunately, I've seen that happen. On a video, it was the most horrible thing. Um, yeah, Lynn, come on.
Oh yeah, okay. Um, so so I'm gonna say something that's kind of backward maybe to what we're thinking here. I think that these things are already here in the script that Mickey's gonna be doing a paddleboard. So at some point in the script, the desire for the paddleboard becomes apparent. And then the desire for the paddleboard may seem like it leads to the finding of the paddleboard, but the paddleboard was already there waiting for her. So until her desire was triggered for it, it didn't actually appear. But that that's the only way that I can make sense of this thought of manifestation, because I know the script is written and I know that everything is here and always has been exactly as it was written. So the only difference is what do I think is happening? How do I think it's coming? And if I think that it's coming because I'm asking for it, actually, that's kind of a dangerous thought, because it makes me think that my mind has the power to create on a physical and worldly level. But the mind doesn't have the power to create anything on the physical and worldly level. The mind can only observe what appears to be here because it's a part of the dream or the illusion. So it's not that I want it and it appears, it's that it's here waiting for me, and the desire for it comes to me because I know it's there waiting for me. I already know it's there. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but when I see it from that direction, then I no longer think, what do I want to do? Now I think, what's going to happen? I'm curious now. And not only curious, I'm in a state of, I call it joyful expectation,
Yes.
because I know that, if I get a thought about it, it's there for me, and I all I have to do is just wait, and it will appear, because it's part of my will and God's will that I find this world a joyous place.
Yes.
But I have joy here. Not that I'm here being in tribulation. So whatever, I may be the seed buried in the ground saying, oh my God, I'm down here underneath all this dirt. What am I going to do? But already the desire for the sun is in me, and I am already beginning to split open. And as I split open, I'm saying, oh my God, I'm splitting open. What's going to happen to me now? And I begin to put down roots and I begin to put up shoots. And the next thing I know, I'm popping out into the sun. And that's been there for me all the time. It's just my opinion or impression of where I am. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm hearing that, and I'm hearing the same thing. As I'm reading here, it says ask for the answer. It's the answer is already there. It says all the help you can accept. The help is already there. It's just but I have to accept. I have to ask. And that's how I see quote quote manifestation. I didn't make it. I understand that. I understand that. And I see your hand, Michaela. Give me a minute. But we may be saying the same thing, only in reverse, or maybe we're saying the same thing. Um, I
It's the same
we
thing. It is the
yeah,
same thing.
so
It
so
couldn't
I'm
be
asking,
anything different.
yeah, I have the my faith is strengthened when I ask, and then I say, "Oh my God, it's wow, it's already there." I didn't poof make anything appear. So most of you know the story that days before, well, a month or so before I graduated from University of Phoenix, I was in a real sad space because my friend Ronnie had passed in January, my friend Don had passed in April. My mother and graduation was now coming up, and these are two of the people I expected to be there who weren't. And I missed my mother, and I missed Ronnie, and I missed Don, and I was standing in the middle of the living room. I still see myself standing here in the middle of the living room floor about a Wednesday or a Thursday, and I was, going through the crying thing, and I remember putting my hands out and saying, "Mommy, help me." That's all I said. I didn't ask. I wasn't asking for anything in particular. I just asked for help. I didn't know what that even meant. And I certainly didn't expect it the way it came. That was on a Wednesday or a Thursday. The following Monday, a letter arrived addressed to my mother, who had made her transition in 2008. This is now 2015, 7 years later. Short version of this, the short, this. I ended up with the escrow from when my mother sold her house in 2003 was still sitting with these people who were contract. So I didn't, you know, I didn't make this graduation present. I'll call it that. I didn't make that. It had been sitting there since 2003. It already was. And I'm using a tangible example, but it already was. Now, me happen to ask for help. It, it reminds me that only minds are joined. Minds are joined. It's already all here. Electricity was here when Moses was here. They didn't call it electricity. You'll find the word electricity nowhere in the Bible. Tornadoes, hurricanes, all these things already were. But we won't find these words in the Bible. It's all already here. It's all, and I hear you, Lynn, the script is already written. It's out here. But I'm catching up with the script. The script is already written. I'm doing the catching up. All right, Michaela, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say, yes, I was just going to say that. Thank you, Lynn, for clarifying that. Thank you, Zulma. Yeah, the script is already written, but I just thought it was kind of funny that I put the pictures out of the paddleboard. So, two people on a paddleboard on the water, and then it's out there, then it just kind of came to me. So I don't know if I was picking up already on the script or what it was, but it's beautiful and it's pretty funny too. So, right-mindedness, you're just out there. So,
You know what? I
mean,
think it is.
maybe I was picking up on, the script on a couple chapters. I was,
I think that's what we call
ahead.
psychic abilities. When people we think people are psychic, it's because they're picking up on the script. They're catching up on the script and maybe even a little bit ahead because it's already out there, so it doesn't really matter. But you're putting up the pictures indicated I'm willing now. So it,
Exactly.
it wasn't it was the desire had come to you and you were willing now to receive, and so there it was for you. So there it's all interlinked, but it's all because we already know, we know. So we're just fooling ourselves that we don't. Because it wouldn't be interesting here if it was so predictable. You watch a murder mystery, you know what happened. If you've seen it already, it can't surprise you again. It's done. So I shouldn't have said murder mystery, but any mystery. Anyway, sorry for jumping in there, Zoma.
That's fine. That's fine. But I'm gonna how about if I reword this? Behold the desire for paddle boards. Ask ask for them and then accept them when they come. The paddle all the paddle boards you can accept will be provided. Saying it, we could change the wording. I want paddle boards. I ask for paddle boards. And doggone it, here they come. They're out there somewhere waiting for me, just waiting to be given to me. I'm going to ask them. Only minds join. Only minds join. That's the same with that the financial gift. Well, was it a gift? Was it a gift from my mother? Can I, all I said was, "Mommy, help me." And then, days later, a letter addressed to my mother arrives, which is that still blows me away. It's like the battle boards. It blows me away. It it helps me realize just how much power I have, how much power we have and are. Because remember, being and having are the same. I'm stalling a little bit here because my doggy's acting a little bit strange. He started having what sounded like hiccups, but it looked like no, it looked like he was getting ready to vomit, but he's not. He's cool. All right. All right, we're fine. Right, baby boy, we're fine. Say hi. Hey. Um, so yeah, so it's all the things that are invented are all coming from the same divine mind. It's Einstein's mind and your mind and my mind is the same mind. And we see these people, the Einsteins who couldn't tie their shoes. I'm thinking, my God, you can't tie your shoes. We see them as brilliant, and we compare ourselves to them. Oh, I could never do that. Oh, I could never do what the Wright brothers did and manifest a flying machine, you know. But I can manifest paddle boards, and I can manifest, a check for a nice sum of money. And I'm using the word manifest because that's the word that's out there today. But it's already out. The check was already there. The paddle boards were already there. Our in line with the divine mind, we asked for it. We asked for it. We asked what was already there. It's just wonderful. It blows my mind too. It blows my mind. So let me see in the chat earlier at 10:15. It is now 10:32. At 10:15, Mickey wrote, yes, trials are but tribulations, classrooms that they will go through, and our message to be compassionate, to see only the face of Christ. It's like you have to walk in the other person's moccasins to be able to understand what they're going through. Exactly. That was based on what I was reading earlier. Yes. I can't. How can I be a savior if I don't, if I don't know? I I don't understand your problem because I didn't have the problem. I've never had that problem. I can't relate to the problem. Go somewhere else. And know that if a situation or too heavy for me, that's something that's heavy in my life, I have enough integrity to send that person elsewhere. I can recommend a practitioner to you, a wonderful practitioner to you, recommend my own practitioner to you. Um, but I'm unable to do that. That one, right now I am waiting. Um, no, I don't want to say it that way. So my sister's living with cancer. Most of you know that. And her time is whenever her time is going to be. And I don't feel that if someone came to me today, um, with a problem of a family member or loved one, in the same place, that I would be of any assistance to them because I would basically be thinking I'm feeling their pain, and that's not what the course talks about because that's not true empathy. It would not be empathy; it would be absolute. Uh, oh, it would be two egos trying to join. Trying to put my pain with your pain. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that right now. Not right now. Um, So yeah, so Michaela continues. Anyone that's acting out in a mean, angry way has to be in a lot of pain. Sure, because what's coming out of me is what's in me. Isn't that what's written? What comes out the mouth is what's in the heart. That's the way it's written in the Bible. What comes out the mouth is what's in the heart. What's coming out of me is what's in me. Period. And I'm clear on that. I'm. It's easier for me to step back and watch that today. To step back and watch that. Yeah, it's easier. And Lindy wrote, "Oh, greatest spirit of truth. Oh, greatest spirit of truth. Forgive me for my transgressions I committed against myself and your spirit of truth. My ego has been in the way since I came out of the womb. Now that your spirit of truth has given me a spirit of understanding, this one overstands as that the pain my this one overstands the pain my neighbors and that basically means I'm getting out my own way. I've decided not to be self-centered. I've become God-centered, Christ consciousness, having that Christ consciousness, realizing that it's not all about me, but it is. There's only me, but everything that I'm seeing out there is part of me. So it's my position to be available. I'm here to be truly helpful, to be available, getting ourselves out of the way, out of the way. Script is already written. Okay. And then Lindy wrote, create in my spirit a new, create in my spirit a new spirit. Renew my mind so that one may walk, renew my mind so this one may walk in perfect love. And basically what that's saying is that for me to align myself, for me to align myself with the spirit of truth, because there's only one spirit. There's only one. And the idea of duality creates a problem for me each and every time. It'll create a problem each and every time. Creating in myself, thinking that something out there, um, uh, oh boy, we're gonna go into something. So Regis wrote that the script written has nothing to do with the material world of form. Got that. Got that. Which is why I said that only minds join. Now, all these other things that show up as a result are based on what I'm focused on, where my values are. Where my values are. And I have value in the material world. You look around my place and see that. I have value in material things. I do. But I understand more and more and more that that's not what I am. My worth is not established by what I own at all. In fact, if that was the case, I wouldn't be working on getting rid of stuff. My worth is not established by that. Clearly, the script written has nothing to do with the material world of form, but all thoughts produce form at some level. Oh, I just saw what you wrote. I just saw, Lindy, that. Okay. 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 All right. So this is easy but not simple, or simple but not easy. Simple but not easy. Because we're trying to figure out what in the world, what's happening, what is going on? Like this PowerPoint. Actually, I want to really go back to the one before this. I want to go back to that. Behold the problem, that particular one. Behold the problem. Ask for the answer. Now, we know in workbook lesson 80 of the course, it says that the problem has already been solved. That's why the script has already been written. The problem has already been solved. Look at what you think the problem is, and then ask for the answer, because the answer has already been given. It's already there. It's kind of like sitting in the waiting room. I'm trying to make this tangible to get the answer is sitting in the waiting room, and it's been there, just sitting there the whole time, waiting for me to ask. And it wasn't going to go anywhere. It's always been sitting in the waiting room. The waiting room has always been there. Just patient. Just patient. Yes. Just patient. So all the help I can accept will be provided, and not one need that I have will not be met. Yes. From the mental equivalent, Emmett Fox, he says, as we look about the world with the eyes of the flesh, this is our mental scientist of the day. As we look around the world, as we look about the world with the eyes of the flesh, we see inharmony, fear, and all sorts of difficulties. We're talking about that material form. Back to that. As we look about the world, the material, with the material, as we look about the material world with the eyes of the flesh, from a material seeing, not vision, we see inharmony, fear, and all sorts of difficulties. But our leader, Jesus the Christ, taught us, saying, judge not according to appearances, but judge righteous judgment. Make a righteous judgment. I can't see that. But judge righteous judgment. So when we see the appearance of evil, we look through it to the truth that lies back of it. As soon as we see this truth, somebody's trying to call me right now, not a good time. As soon as we see this truth and see it spiritually, the appearance changes. Because this is not a physical world, family. It's not a physical world. The world we see is not the real world. And Emmett Fox is calling it a mental world. He's talking about world of mind, capital M mind, actually. This is what we see with the physical eye is so temporary. It's not it, there's nothing about it that will be here forever. Nothing. The day will come, there won't be anything called a Zulma, because Zulma is a physical body, although other bodies that are still around after I make my transition will be still talking about Zulma, and they'll picture this body, this communication device as one communication device, just as one communication device to another. Um, uh, thank you, Lindy, and I will. So yeah, this we're seeing things, and making it up as we go along, because we see what we want to see. But once we see the truth, once we see it with vision, the appearances automatically change. What we see will be gone. Judge not by appearances. Ernest Holmes says, turn completely away from it. Oh, I brought him in there, didn't I? Turn completely away from it. Turn away from the condition. Stop thinking that what's in front of you is real or permanent. It's not. It definitely is not. Turn away from it. He says, turn completely away from it. I'm trying to find that chapter. He says, turn completely away from the condition. And I can't find it right now. He does say that spirit is changing this reality. This is Ernest Holmes. Spirit is changing this reality. We must seek to realize the spiritual universe, regardless of any condition which appears. This is now, it's just read that by Emmett Fox. Here it is. I'm reading it by Ernest Holmes. We must seek to realize the spiritual universe, regardless of any condition which appears, if we would embody the greatest good. In other words, if we're focusing on there's evil and there's bad and this is terrible and look at all this murder and look at all this, if that's what we're focused on, that's what we're going to keep getting. Because what we focus on expands. It keeps on going. It keeps on happening. If the spiritual universe were not perfect, it could not exist for a single moment. That's Ernest Holmes, page 184 in the Science of Mind textbook. Yeah. So Emmett Fox continues. Do not dwell, here we go, on negative things, but replace them, supplant them with the right constructive things. The law of mind is that you can only get rid of one thought by substituting another. That's key. If you think you can think two thoughts at once, you're making yourself crazy. Oh, well, let me say it this way. If I try to think two thoughts at once, I'm making myself crazy, and then I have to say my famous 5 words: stop, 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 Zona, stop, 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 stop. I do that. I do that. I have to. I have to. I have to go back to remembering. I have to go back to guarding my thoughts. I have to go being willing to change my mind. I have to remember to make a new decision. I have to remember that I can see it differently. I have to remember that I'm not a victim. Under no circumstances am I the victim. Not the victim. Exactly. Lynn, when did she write that? Just now? Exactly. The golden key. Thank you, love. Turn Turn the key. Turn the key. One of my coworkers, Michelle, she used to say, change channels. She used to tell her son that. Change channels. Change channels. Turn the key. Look, be willing to see it differently, and you will. Do not dwell on negative thoughts. You can't replace them. Just be willing. Be willing. Be willing. And miracles are thoughts. Miracle principle number 12 tells us that miracles are thoughts. 12, 13, one of them. Miracles are thoughts. They can go either way. But miracles, and it's funny because I said that I've said that numerous times, but this time I realized that miracles themselves are temporary. Miracles, when I reach the point of seeing only the truth, seeing only what the thoughts I hold with God, that the thoughts that I have are only those that I hold with God. When I get to that point, miracles will no longer be necessary. None of it. None of these words that we use will be necessary. Not a single one. None of them. Not a single one in the book will be necessary. No, not one. And that was from Emmett Fox. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see. I think I have a bunch of quotes, and we're going to go out with this. I cannot pronounce this name. Thupten Yeshi. I'm going to spell it for those in the Pal Talk room in case you're interested. T as in Thomas, Thu, B as in boy, T as in Thomas, En, first name. That's Thubten, last name, Yes as in Samuel, Yeshe. And I'm going to pronounce it Thupten Yeshi. Maybe it may not be right. Anyway, he says, knowing your own mind is the solution to all our problems. And that is that when we are in the right mind, when we are thinking with the mind of God, when we are paying attention to from the Holy Spirit thought system, then our problems are solved, because that's when we realize that there are no problems. They're just different. It's like having a bunch of doors to go through. And every door, when the last door opens, whatever that is, there is that section that we were trying to get to in the first place. It's there. It's just that we keep putting barriers in our own way because we forget that it's there, that we're already complete. We forget that we have and are everything. We have it and we are it. Happiness is not the absence of problems, but the ability to deal with them, which goes back to the quote from the Course. We're not here to not have limitations, but to escape from them. And how do we do that? Oh God, I cannot believe this is happening again. I had somebody just say to me that, I'm exhausted. I've had to go through so much just to get this thing to happen. And it's been exhausting, and my mind is so tired. And I'm hearing this individual, and I'm saying to myself, oh, you're about to get more of that, because they keep saying the same thing over again. Oh, it's exhausting, and I don't know, I'm over it. That's the common phrase these days. I'm so over it. No, you're about to get more of it, and trust that you're ready for it. And I couldn't say that because they were so in it. Krishnamurti, Mickey writes, said, there are no problems apart from the capital M mind. That's it. There are no problems. We just look at life as, see, I keep saying I keep looking life in segments. Let's see, the hour from 10 to 11, 12 minutes, this time, that other time, when there is no time. Which is why it's already there. Like I said, there are no doors in the example that I gave. There are no doors. I'm focusing on the obstacle instead of focusing on the solution. Instead of realizing that there really are no obstacles, that I'm making the whole thing up. That's what the whole ego thing is, making the whole thing up so that I can be in pain. Mm-mm. So this person, Charles de Montesquieu, keep bringing up quotes of names I can't pronounce. Um, Happiness is not the absence of problems, but the ability to deal with them. Uh-oh, not working. No, there we go. Mark Twain says, I've seen many troubles in my time, only half of which ever came true. And that's because we are making it up as we go along. Our imagination is amazing. The mind that we have, the way we are, with what we've been given to, it's amazing. It is. You all right, puppy? It's amazing. Absolutely incredible. The stories, and I say that more and more now. Well, but wait, this is just my story. I say it a lot now. I say it a lot because that's how I guard my thoughts. That's how I stay out of the sleep of forgetfulness. Yeah, well, this is just my story. But this is my story. So it's a good one, isn't it? And I've said that. A good one, but not really. I've said that. I say it a lot. I've seen many troubles in my time. How many things have, what does the course ask? How many times, how many opportunities we've had to gladden ourselves, and we choose to overlook them. We choose to ignore it. Oh yeah, yeah. I see my piece right there, but I'll get back to that. Right now, I'm just going to be in this turmoil because because I am the victim of the world I see. Oh, I think I'm supposed to be in pain. Oh, I think that this is a problem instead of just looking at it as a life lesson. It's just a life lesson. And for those who have seemingly more lessons than others and overcome them, then really it's more to be grateful for. But everybody doesn't see that. They don't see that. All they see is this thing isn't going the way it's supposed to. It should be this way. It should be that way. Shooting on how they think things are supposed to be instead of accepting things as they are and allowing themselves to be grateful, to be in gratitude. I received an email. I was in a class. We it's a study group. The book titled "The Art of Blessing." Great book. And uh, Dr. Maxine K, Reverend Dr. Maxine K of the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living in Paoli, Pennsylvania, sent out an email, and she referred to us as artisans of blessings. I thought that was so great. We are artisans. We are artisans of love. We are artisans of peace. We are what the world is waiting for. We are it. We are the peace. We are the love. We are that. And the sooner we get that on a more consistent basis, the more peaceful, the more loving, the more joyful, I should say, the less angst, the less worry, the less fear we'll experience. But it's part of the experience because we're not here to not to have limitations. We're here to escape them. Julius Caesar wrote, as a rule, people worry more about what they can't see than about what they can. Got that? We make it all up. The ego says, oh, look over here. Look at this terrible story. Hey, turn on the news. Look at that terrible story. Oh my God. Don't you just hate that individual for what they said? Oh my goodness. Aren't you just worried about the way things are going to turn out? Aren't you worried about the future? Because that's all we do is worry about the future. We don't just experience it. We have to worry about it and make up story. And what we're not, and it's not even the future we're worrying about because it's not here. What we're worrying about are the thoughts that we're thinking in the first place. We keep taking ourselves to these places. We keep taking ourselves to places unknown, places we make up, places that cause us pain, and then we want to blame the future for it. I just said that to somebody last night, actually to my nephew, the one who my sister that passed the 25th of March, her son. He and I have been communicating quite a bit more, and I'm glad he's reaching out. I'm glad, and I'm glad. I'm really glad for that. Uh, but he called me, and he was having some feelings because the holiday today was coming, and she and his mother wasn't going to be around. And I actually talked about holidays because when I woke up this morning, I didn't feel anything different. I saw fireworks yesterday. There were fireworks out there somewhere, but I didn't feel it. I don't feel anything different. We call it Memorial Day. We come up with these holidays and we make them so special that when we feel that something is missing, now we want to go into a different place. Um, we just want to go into a different place. As a rule, men worry more. As a rule, I worry more about what I can't see than what I can. I worry more about what I can't see than what I can. And that's quote by Julius Caesar. And the last quote, I thought I had one more. This thing works the way it wants to. It's driving me. There we go. Oh, too much happened that time. Too much happened. The last quote that I have is by James Baldwin. He says, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." And I love that. I love that because I can't heal what I can't feel. And I'm not talking about physical healing. There's no such thing as physical healing. Only the mind can be healed. And when we set our minds, when I set my mind to what I want, what I desire, to that which I am loving, when I am setting my mind to those things, that's the only way that get, I can receive the healing. Going back to the original quote from the Course, ask for it and then wait for it to come because it's coming. Just ask for it and know that it's coming. And not that it's even coming, it's already there, just waiting for you to get to it. It's already there. Unless and until I look at these things that bother me, unless and until I look at these things that I think are problems for me and look at them rightly and recognize that that I have no problems, the problems are already solved. And if I think in terms of the solution, that makes it easier. If I think in terms of the solution, once I look at it, if I attempt to look at it from a problem, I can't solve the problem, if you will, with the same mind that the problem was created in. It can't happen. It can't happen. I see what you wrote, Lynn. It is now technically time for me to turn this over. And unless you or somebody else, Lynn, Regis, Michaela, Lindy, want to take this out? Wait a minute. Oh, Regis, you're gonna have to. Oh boy, you're gonna have to show me how that works. Oh my goodness, you always have something going on. You just brought the kid out in me. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, you have to show me how to do that. Please show me how to do that. And your lips are moving. I mean, you're on mute. If you have something to say, please unmute. Because your lips are moving. I can see that your lips are moving. No. Um, let's see here. Thank you, Michaela. I can go on, but I'm going to go into a different subject. Lynn, what say you?
Okay, here's what I say. I texted to Lynn Castaldo and said, "You want to come on early?" She said, "Yes, I will. Just let me get ready." I texted in the room to Teresa, "You want to come on early?" She said, "Yeah, I will." So,
So
so,
they're ready. So they're ready, and I can go now.
yeah,
And which is I'm gonna.
somebody's gonna come on now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go. Thank you all. Enjoy this day. May it be as memorable as you want it to be. And remember that the holidays didn't come first because they came in time.
Yeah.
In truth, in truth, every day, every moment is a holy instant if we want it to be. And with that, officially, Lynn, I'm turning the mic over to you.
Thank you so much, Selma Gonzalez, and thank you, everyone.